Hello and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick, and today we're looking at Cubic Evolution by Drakfyre. This is another LD24 game. As you notice, I paused there just for a moment because I almost tried to say that word or these couple of words that have gotten me into trouble in the past. There's been an awful lot of controversy about how you pronounce the official title of this competition. People citing their Latin and things like that, and that's fine, and I'm sure probably one of you out there is right, but so far all I've gotten is conflicting reports on how you correctly pronounce it. So instead of trying, I'm just going to call it LD24 in this case. I believe that will still correctly identify this thing for you guys. So what's up with Cubic Evolution? Well, first thing I have to notice is giant floating cube with glowing parts on it that I seem to be able to click and carve into. It looks like then after you click into them, the cubes seem to go over to one of these satellite bits. Not sure what's going on yet. I mean, the mystery of it is part of the suspense, I suppose. Really don't know what my goal is here, so I'm just going to try and keep powering up these cubes for a while, or powering up these satellites or whatever I'm doing. And just keep watching what happens. And it looks like if I click poorly, I will get no power out of them or something. It seems like they're accelerating in pace on how many I can click on. Maybe. Maybe something cool will happen if I start to power these up even more. So it's like a shiny office building Rubik's Cube on crack or something. Maybe not on crack, but just exciting in general terms. The flashing pretty colors reminds me a lot of that game Edge, which you may or may not remember. I did a video on that a while ago. Sort of a retro-styled action game with some like time trial elements to it, where you race around these sort of like tracks trying to get the best time possible, collect all of the stray cubes. Very cool game. I still enjoy that one very much. This is obviously nothing like it in terms of gameplay, but, you know, references as far as aesthetics, very cool. So these satellites, or whatever you want to call them, seem to be powering up and getting lots of charge, and they seem to be glowing faster and faster and more brightly. I believe when you click on them, they collapse everything, which I've been hesitant to do because I'm not sure what the point of doing that is. But maybe once I get to a certain point in this game, I will understand that I want to do that. I don't know. I'm just going to keep clicking on these for a while. As with a lot of these LD24 games, they're designed in 48 hours, so they're not super long, super complicated. And I think the ones that are most successful tend to be the most wonder-inspiring, and you don't try to pad out the gameplay as much as you just make the player interested in knowing what's going to happen. And I think this game has been very successful in that so far, because I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, but at the same time, I'm compelled to keep doing it. Sort of reminds me of that game that I've heard, the name bandied about, and all of a sudden it's escaping. Oh, right, Curiosity, which I believe had to have its name changed because of the rover. The idea was that you click on this mysterious cube and you try to dig into it, and presents come out or something, and there's like some kind of amazing thing that can happen, and everyone's going to try and buy it because they want to know what this thing's going to be. Well, yeah, I feel like this is kind of that. I kind of want to know what's going to happen, and didn't need anyone to spend a lot on marketing. Alright, so these things are speeding up like crazy. I can't keep up clicking on all of them anymore. And it's actually making the screen quite pretty to look at. I'm not sure if this is good or... Oh, I clicked on one of them. Oh, well. That happened. So I collapsed the cube, and now there's a gigantic rainbow everywhere. What does that do for me, though? It's pretty. I'll give it that. It's very pretty. Okay, so we've still got pulsating, flashing cubes to look for here. I don't know if they're like camouflaged or something because of the fact that the whole cube is now made of like an undulating rainbow pattern. Maybe this is all that happens, it just keeps resetting. But I kind of want to drill down and dig to the bottom of this and see what happens if we do let this thing continue to build at such a pace. Maybe the goal is not to accidentally click on them and see if you can get back to the middle. The satellites, I mean, not the cubes. I kind of wish the background wasn't also a rainbow. I think we've got enough rainbow going on here as it is. But, who am I to nitpick? This is not a problem. It's just more colors, and we love colors on this show. So, let's talk about... So, Oh, I almost did it. LD24 games. Sorry, guys. Whoa. Let's hang on here in the comments. So these LD24 games, so I've looked through, this is I think the third one that I've looked at on the show properly, and I think so far the ones I've looked at have been generally pretty cool. But again, I have to remind you guys, there's like, what is it, 1,400 games available in this absolutely massive competition, and I'm not going to be covering more than maybe 2 or 3. So I think we're going to end up with a total count of somewhere around like 5 on the channel here. The idea is just to really highlight the cool ones, in my opinion. I'm not trying to claim that like the ones I think are cool are the best ones. I'm sure there are ones that I honestly just haven't given the time of day to, which is unfair, considering you really shouldn't be judging indie games by their covers, but when you're dealing with 1,400 games, you kind of have to a little bit. At least I think so. I don't think anyone really has the time to go through all of them. Although I guess I hope someone does, considering they're being judged. Alright, this is speeding up quite vastly again. Everything is flashing like mad. I guess I'm going to have to throw a seizure warning on this game as well. I think so far I haven't missed any clicks on this. I've been only getting rainbow blocks. So I guess the point of me going into these LD24 games is just to give an idea of what some of the crazy imaginative stuff is going on with this competition. What kind of stuff you might expect even to get from this type of thing. And I think there's always a few pleasant surprises in every single one. In some cases, many, many pleasant surprises, but I have to say the evolution-themed one, from my, little bit of exploration, has been a bit on the minimal side. I'm not sure, maybe it was just because of the theme. Like, it's a pretty heavy theme to conquer, evolution. Like, how do you make a game about evolution in 48 hours? It's like the basis of all creation and existence, forwarding through time. Like, how do you sum that up in 48 hours? But I guess better to go very ambitious than go under-ambitious and risk getting just boring. The ones that really, do the job well in this case, they're going to be extremely noteworthy and very dynamic and, bigger than you expect. So it's probably a good idea to go big. That way you don't have to go home, right? I think I might be approaching critical mass here when it comes to these rainbow patterns. Oh my god, now even my eyes are getting a little bit weird. Because, holy crap, everything is freaking crazy rainbows. It seems like most of the stuff I click on now is just going to be fair game. Like, I don't even really have to be that selective. Oh, this is taking me back to Minecraft and all of the hours I spent digging tunnels out of mountains. Kind of unpleasant time to spend. I'm going to try and just kill every single block on this cube and see if anything happens differently. And my apologies if you guys start to get, a headache from this or something. I'm feeling it a little bit myself. I love colors. I love colors, but sometimes the nature of the colors can be a little bit wild. And unwieldy, I think is the way you say that. And yeah, in this case I think that's maybe what's happening. Plenty of colors though. Running out of cubes. We've got not a crazy amount left, so I'm going to be careful with my clicks that I don't accidentally take out one of those satellites if I can. Oh, I think that's it. All of the cubes that remain are now rainbows. Alright, so now we just click like mad and try not to accidentally grab one of the rainbow satellites by accident, and we should be done. Alright, let's let them all conclude. And nothing happens. Okay, well, had to try it, right? So if I click one of these, it should coalesce into another wild cube. I don't know how many times we can really keep doing. I don't really want to do this again, but it seems to be more pastel now than it was before. I wonder if this will just keep changing if I keep reforming it. No, I think it doesn't. I think it's just like black or rainbow, maybe. I would like some nice surprises, like if I click on this a bunch more times, maybe it'll do something really unexpected. Wow, that pattern of them converging is very trippy. This is like Deepak fights robots type of stuff here. Oh, I win. I didn't even notice up in the top left corner it says I won, so yeah. Good for me. So you could, I guess, stare at this as a screensaver for a few hours if you really want to. Oh, do a little post-cubic evolution stretch. Sometimes you gotta do that, but I've learned from the best. So I think that will wrap us up for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this psychedelic and trippy look at this game where you click on squares within squares. I'm into it. Like I said, again, if this was to evolve into a full-fledged game, there are some new surprises in there. Make it so when you dig into this cube, maybe something will happen in the center. Maybe that you earn an achievement, you earn an unlockable character that will hang out with the satellites. Some kind of something will happen. I could see very easily turning this into a much more like long-term engaging experience. As it stands, I mean, this is like a 10-minute fun diversion. Sort of like that game I played, what was it, Waiting Game, a while back, which is, you know, finger tapping. You know, this is actually kind of an engaging version of finger tapping, and you're just using your mouse and some brightly colored cubes instead of just fingers on a desk. So I could see having fun with this if you're very bored. But yeah, turn this into a screensaver too, that would be fun. Just have it delete itself over time and then reset. I like that it's self-contained though, like you can never officially finish this. You just keep building and building and building onto these. I mean, maybe that would be another thing, like let these cubes accumulate so these crazy strobing satellite things get even wilder as you keep throwing more and more into it, and put like a leveling bar or like experience or something down in the corner. So you know how many cubes you've clicked on. And then port it to iOS, and I believe there's question mark, question mark, question mark, and then equals profit somewhere in there. So that will pretty much do it. I don't think there's much else I can really say about this one. Cubic Evolution, folks, check it out. Give it a vote if you think it's cool on the LD24 page, which I will include in the description, of course, as I always do. Interesting thing to note, though, with the LD24 and 23, etc. going back, sometimes the links break on those, and I did include an LD23 game in a video a little while back, and looks like the hosting on those links did not really pan out. So I think the links may or may not be indefinitely dead. I did actually host it myself on Mediafire. I'm going to try to do that if it's possible, but it may not always be possible. So there is a chance that if I do a lot of coverage on these types of games, that there may be a time when you may not just be able to play this, or whatever game it might be that we're talking about, theoretically. And if that does happen, I apologize. That is not my intention. I want you guys to play every single game, or at least have the capability of playing every single game that I cover on the show. It just may be, you know, not feasible at one point or another. And if that happens, my apologies. I didn't do it intentionally. It just may have happened. So just wanted to let you guys in on the behind the scenes on that, because I thought it would be worth mentioning. But yeah, again, I think we've really run aground on this game. There's nothing else to say. So we will wrap up this episode. As always, remember to head on over to my website, which is www.indie-impressions.com. Join up on the forums, make an account. You can sort through all the games I cover on the show. You know, sort them by distribution method, by genre, all kinds of great stuff like that. And you can chime in, let me know what you think about stuff, send me suggestions, send me comments, let me know how the show is going for you. Stop by my Facebook page also, facebook.com/indieimpressions, and my two Twitters, at RockLeeSmile and at indieimpression. Feel free to chat with me about whatever's going on in indie games, whatever's fun and topical to you guys. I am always curious to know. And that will pretty much do it. So thank you again for watching, and remember to stop back again tomorrow. I do these videos every single day. I think this is number 153 consecutive days and episodes that I have not missed a single one yet. So please do what you can. Support the show. Keep us going here. I value every single one of your opinions and every one of your suggestions. And the fact that you choose to watch these in the first place is absolutely wonderful to me. So thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a lovely night.